Reviewing your history with Vladimir Putin, Madam Secretary, you had a line in 2008 after President Bush said, "I looked into the eyes of the man and I saw his soul." You said of Putin, he was a KGB agent. By definition, he does not have a soul. That was during the 2008 campaign. But you also wrote in a memo in one of your last days as Secretary of State in early 2013 to the White House, effectively saying, don't give this man the attention he craves. Don't give this man a presidential summit. If you deprive him of that oxygen, you deprive him of everything he needs and wants. So how do you balance that, Secretary Clinton, delivering the message that needs to be delivered to this man, to Vladimir Putin, and not elevating him to the point where he wants to be elevated?
Well, the problem, Willie, is that Trump has elevated him. Trump, from the very beginning, even when he was running in 2016, basically lifted up Russia and lifted up Putin as against our own country and our own president. And that behavior and that rhetoric continued. So it's difficult to say, let's turn the clock back and go from where I thought we were when I left being Secretary of State to today. The circumstances have changed. He's attacked our country with relatively few consequences. He invaded Ukraine. He now basically has troops stationed on the border in Ukraine and in the part that he occupies, posing a continuing threat to Ukraine. He has been the major partner, along with Iran, of Syria and the horrific treatment that we've seen over these years of the bombing and other attacks on civilians, driving millions of people out of their homes. So, I mean, we can't turn the clock back. But I think what President Biden understands is he wants to sit across the table, as I have done with Putin, and basically look him in the eye and say, OK, let's figure out where we can work together, and climate change, these kinds of issues. Let us tell you what we are no longer going to abide, and there will be consequences, and don't test us. And then let's make sure you understand that the United States is back. We are not going to be endangered and undermined by people who, for whatever combination of reasons, look to you because you're an authoritarian, and they in some way like that. They wish they were. They wish democracy weren't so messy and difficult. You just have to understand where we are today and where we intend to go. And I think that's what, President Biden is not only prepared to do, what he's doing as we speak. So sadly, we not only lost 4 years, we emboldened Putin. We gave him a green light. I never thought I would see some of what we saw during the 4 years of the Trump administration, where we had a president who derided our intelligence agencies, who basically dismissed the hard work of, countless federal officials who took that oath to serve the United States. So we got to start where we are, and I think that President Biden and his team understand that, and that's exactly what they're doing.